Hello everyone. So in this session we are going to learn the basic concepts of the classification of animals, where if we want to classify the animals we have to learn these basic concepts, so that based on this we can better classify the animals. In the last session we come across the level of organization, in that we had 4 different level of organization based on which the animals has been classified. One is cellular level of organization, second one is tissue level of organization, third one is organ level of organization, fourth one is organ system level of organization. And after that we also studied about the symmetry. So symmetry, in the symmetry it has 3 different types. One is asymmetry, radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. So asymmetry means any of the plane cannot divide the animal into 2 equal halves, and radial symmetry means any plane which is going to pass through the central axis can cut the body into 2 equal halves. And the bilateral symmetry means only one plane can cut the animal into can divide the animal into 2 equal halves. So we studied these 2 basic concepts in the last session. So as I told you, in the last sessions itself we have 5 basic concepts that we have to learn, and if we understand these concepts it will become easier to understand when we reach the characteristic features of different phylums. Okay, so after the symmetry what we have to learn? So after the symmetry, the third one is diploblastic and diploblastic organization. Diploblastic and triploblastic organization. So what is diploblastic and triploblastic organization? The name itself saying. What it is saying? It is saying di, and it is saying tri. Di means 2, tri means 3. So what is 2 and what is 3? So that we have to understand here. At the embryonic stage, the animal, at the embryonic stage I am telling you, okay, if the animal body wall, concentrate me, body wall have the outer ectoderm and inner ectoderm, and inner endoderm. If it has 2 layers, those type of animals are known as diploblastic animal. So what I said, at embryonic level of animals, the body wall possess, if the body wall possess outer ectoderm and inner endoderm, outer ectoderm and inner endoderm. So this type of arrangement, this type of organization is known as diploblastic organization. So let me draw the diagram of that. Consider what I am writing here. I am writing the transverse section of embryonic level of animals. What it is having? It is having only one outer So in between this we have a space which get attached to the ectoderm and endoderm. That place is known as, this is the place, mesoglia. Mesoglia, this is not a layer and this is not the cavity. It is just a place get attached, like it is made of tissues which get attached to the ectoderm and endoderm without leaving any space, and we cannot consider this as a layer. Just keep this in mind. Okay, so this is the outer ectoderm and this is the mesoglia and endoderm. Ectoderm, mesoglia, endoderm. So these three layers, it forms a diploblastic. These three layers can be considered as a diploblastic organization. If any animal at its embryonic stage, when it is growing, when it matures in the womb of the mother or any of the place, so when it is growing, when we take the cut section of that animal, if we find the outer ectoderm only two layers, outer ectoderm and inner endoderm, so we can consider that animal as a diploblastic animal. So the example for diploblastic animal is Coelenterata. So Coelenterata, phylum is Coelenterata. What is that? Example is, animal is Aurelia, Adamsia. Okay, so one more definition I should write here about the triploblastic. Triploblastic is, I'll alter to this definition itself. So just look at this diagram. What I am going to do, I am going to draw the triploblastic organization. How the triploblastic organization is formed. Okay, so this is known as yes. Example for Coelenterata is triploblastic animals is Platyhelminthes to chordata. So what we are having on the board now, we are having a diagram showing triploblastic organization. Any of the animal at its embryonic stage, if it has three layers, outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, middle mesoderm. So those type of animals are known as triploblastic organization. So now I have written here Platyhelminthes to chordata. So what does it mean, Platyhelminthes to chordata? It is nothing but when I start writing the classification of kingdom animal. So when I write the phylum name, so first phylum is sponges, second one is Coelenterata, third phylum is Ctenophora. After the Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes will come. The example for Platyhelminthes means Platyhelminthes phylum is tapeworm. After the Platyhelminthes, Annelida. After the Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, and then what is that? Echinodermata, and then Chordata. All these animals, for example, all the mollusks, like mollusca, phylum mollusca. Example for the phylum mollusca is octopus. Example for the echinodermata is starfish. Example for the Platyhelminthes is flatworm or tapeworm. Example for the Annelida is leeches. Example for the Arthropoda is what is that? Insects. Okay, so cockroach, all those animals, they have 3 layers. So all these layers, they'll give rise to different organ when it matures. Okay, so this is all about the diploblastic and triploblastic organization. The fourth one is coelom. If the body wall or gut wall, if it has a cavity, so the cavity will be lined by mesoderm. So that arrangement is known as coelom. So the coelom is, consider, again I am going to write the same diagram showing ectoderm, it means what? These are the cells, my dear students, don't get confused. So this is the cell. Consider this is one layer. Name is ectoderm. Okay, now inner is endoderm. In between these two, which layer will come? Mesoderm. Okay. Now, in the mesoderm, if it has a cavity means if it possesses a cavity over here lined by mesoderm. Consider this is the cavity. That cavity is lined by, lining means at the boundary level, mesoderm cells will be present. So this type of cavity is known as, having this type of cavity is known as coelomate. As like asymmetry, radial asymmetry, bilateral asymmetry, what we studied in the previous session, right? So these two have 3 more types. One is coelomate, second one is pseudo coelomate, third one is acoelomate. Now, which diagram we have drawn here? I have drawn the coelomate. The example for the coelomate organization, what is that? Annelida, mollusca, Third one is arthropoda. And fourth one is hemichordata. One more is chordata. All these phylums possess coelom, a cavity inside the animal. Chordata. One more is there, echinodermata. Okay, so what actually it is? This is the examples, phylum names. So all these phylums, whatever the animals comes under this phylum, they have a body cavity. They have a coelom type of organization. They have inside their body, inside the body wall or gut wall, they possess a cavity, a coelom. Okay, one is Annelida. Let me tell you, Annelida is, example is leech and snail and all the insects, and hemichordata and chordata. Hemichordata is, one example for hemichordata is glossus. When I come to this phylum, I'll explain, I'll draw the diagram and I'll explain. Okay, chordata means the animals who is having the vertebral column, chordates. All those animals are considered as chordates. And echinodermata means starfish. Okay, now after the coelomate means, just in simple term, just remember, coelomate animals means having body cavity. Only just remember that much. If you remember that, you will come to know, you will understand what I am speaking here. Okay, having body cavity, having coelom inside the body, it is known as coelomate. Now next is pseudocoelomate. So what does it mean? Pseudocoelomate means, the name is false. False means which is not true. Okay, a vice versa, opposite word. Yes, the name itself saying it has. Let me erase the examples also so that you come to know. Now we are going to explain the pseudocoelomate. Aschelminthes. Example is Aschelminthes. Okay, so the body cavity is not scattered properly. It is not formed properly. It just scattered here and there. Just imagine, this is one body cavity, this is one body cavity, and this is one. It has not properly arranged. This type of scattered coelom is known as pseudocoelom, false coelom. No doubt, each coelom is lined by mesoderm. But in the earlier type, we saw a complete cavity, a complete formation of cavity inside the body wall. But here there is no proper formation of body cavity. This type of animals having false body cavity known as pseudocoelomate. Example is Aschelminthes. This is the phylum name. Example for this phylum is Ascaris. One more is there, Acoelomate. Acoelomate means it doesn't have any body cavity. It doesn't possess any body cavity. All the body wall lined by the layers. So this type of body cavity is known as, or this type of organization is known as acoelomate. Acoelomate. Example is Platyhelminthes. Okay, so the next is acoelomate means the name itself saying absence of coelom, absence of cavity, which means which forms the process known as, which forms a word known as acoelomate. Example is Platyhelminthes. Okay, Platyhelminthes example, tapeworm. Again we came to the same phylum, plate worm or Platyhelminthes. Not plate worm, it is tapeworm. I'm sorry. Write down tapeworm. The next concept is segmentation. Segmentation means, consider one earth form. I have drawn here one earth form. Okay, so consider the mouth will be present there at the anterior position. Externally and internally, if the body possesses the division, the lines, so that each line forms line forms a segment. So just consider this is line, this line, if this line form on the body, next to that one more line is there, one more line, one more line, one more line. So because of these lines, the body get divided into segment. This is one segment, this is one segment, this is one segment. So this type of segmentation is known as metameres. Metameres, the segmenter, scientific name for the segment, metameres. Having metameres on the body is known as metamerism. Metamerism. Externally and internally, if any of the animal possess the division, that type of division forms segment on the body and inside also the body. So that segments forms, or that segment is known as metameres. Having metameres on the body is known as metamerism. Okay, so example is earthworm. The next is notochord. Notochord means if any of the animal at At its embryonic level or at its adult stage, a rod-like structure is present at the dorsal surface of the animal. That structure is known as one organ is known as notochord, that forms in some animals in its adult nature. It forms a column known as vertebral column. Okay, so just note my word, a rod like structure at the dorsal surface. It is known as, some of the animals, they do not possess any rod-like structure on the dorsal surface or any vertebral column. Vertebral column will be absent or notochord will be absent. So that type of animals are known as invertebrates. Okay, let me write the suitable word. Non-chordata. The animals which possess notochord at its dorsal surface, those animals comes under the class chordata. Non-chordata and chordata. Okay, so literally what it means a vertebral column. Okay, so with this we have completed all the basic concepts of kingdom Animalia. Based on this, we can categorize the animals into different categories, into different groups and phylums. So what I have drawn here, I have written the position, systematic position. You can call this as a schematic representation of all the phylums. Okay, so what it means, don't worry, they don't ask in the examination, need not to worry about that. Just understand this, what this table tells. So what I have written here, all these are phylum names: Porifera, Coelomata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca. I have written only M, just write it as, let me write here, Mollusca. I didn't get the place over there, that's why. Mollusca and Echinodermata and Hemichordata and Chordata. Okay, so all these are the names of phylum. Alright, so in this side, what they have written? They have written whether they possess cellular level of organization or tissue organ system level of organization. So this is what we studied in the first concept, cellular level of organization. Example is Porifera. So in the first concept, what we learn cellular level of organization, only one phylum it possesses, which is known as Porifera, and tissue organ system level of organization, except Porifera, all these possess either tissue or organ system level of organization. Coming to the symmetry of those phylums are, this phylum has this phylum is asymmetrical, and these two phylums are radially symmetrical, jellyfish and Pleurobrachia. Yes, and radially symmetrical and bilaterally symmetrical, right from the Platyhelminthes to Chordata. All these phylums, they possess, they are having bilaterally symmetrical organization. Coming to the body cavity, this Porifera, it doesn't possess any of the coelom, and these two phylums, Acoelomata means the body cavity is absent. The Platyhelminthes also body cavity is absent, or yes, pseudocoelomates. Aschelminthes phylum have pseudocoelom type of organization, and coelomates are Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata. Okay, so all these are known as some table which represents the characteristic feature, the basic characteristic feature of all the phylums. Don't forget to learn this phylum. First one is Porifera. See, what is that? Sorry, make it correct. It should come here. Coelenterata. Okay, just make it correct this. Okay, Coelenterata phylum name Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata. What I have written only in single alphabet, no, the full expanded form phylum I have written there. Okay, follow it and refer it. In the next session, we will move on to the first phylum, that is phylum Porifera. By taking few examples and by drawing some diagrams, we will understand the habitat, the function, the reproduction, the everything we will study. Thank you.